We're the free agents, Ben and Reed, cheeseheadtalk.com, your source for all Wisconsin sports, and the place where the Wisconsin sports fan comes to talk.
Right.
That's what it's for you. We got free agents where we state our opinion. Hopefully we're a little entertaining for you. We've got Cheddar Tube where you can state your opinion, get yourself on the air. We've got the Cheddar Line where you can call in and tell us what the deal is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And opinion pieces, current headlines, everything you could want where you want to check in with Wisconsin sports.
And we're not wearing any green jerseys because you know why, Ben? We're always hard-hitting. This ain't no spring game.
I don't see any red.
This ain't no prom.
Oh, I see green jerseys because we're not the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Okay. We're always hard hitting. Sorry, I thought you were going to the homer angle, but it's more.
No.
I blew that. I'm sorry. Spring game.
It's like I got to write out my jokes for you. Get an applause sign, maybe a laugh.
Probably.
Yeah, like MJ Leno over here, or Sarah Palin.
Yeah, I think so. The spring game took place on Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium.
23,000 diehards showed up to cheer on their Badgers.
I'm kind of doubting that it was 23,000. I wasn't there.
I wasn't. Yeah, because you had better stuff to do.
I did have better stuff to do. I'm not gonna. I have been there before though.
Who do you even cheer for? You just cheer for anything?
No, that's the thing.
Like I have no idea. Is one side? Are they told you're the fans for the white and you're the fans for the Cardinal?
They probably should do that.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. They could give away a prize, or they could bribe people to come and give them, $5 if the white win.
That's a good idea.
The Cardinal win. Yeah, and they create some passion doing that.
And then players play for both teams. I don't.
Yeah,
it just sounds confusing.
It is, and there's not much you can ever take out of it. And there's some fans that are naive, and they say, "Oh my God, he had a great spring game.
Yeah. He's
going to be good." No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
Does not matter at all.
Nzigu, the linebacker, had 3 sacks. I'm sorry. Did I pronounce a vowel in his complicated name wrong? He had 3 sacks, and it's great. I mean, I hope it translates. But how is his whole spring practice? And we rely on coaches a lot of times to tell us that, or the media who was there early because they closed down spring practice to anybody from the outside, the second half of the whole spring practice experience. A lot of guys didn't play. John Clay didn't play. Nick Toon didn't play. Borland, the linebacker who was so good last year, didn't play.
Craig Appleton didn't make the trip.
Craig Appleton didn't play. He won't play. That's another story. But you can't garner anything, and I don't think too many people do.
No.
They just hear about who had a good practice. But there are still a ton of questions. Here's the thing about the Badgers.
What's the thing, Ben?
You have, thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
You have the offensive line with a lot of question marks.
Yep.
You have a defensive line that's trying to replace a few guys and has some question marks, even though you still have some guys returning.
Yeah.
And there's, you can see where, okay, you've got Clay and you've got, Tolzien.
Got your weapons back.
You got some weapons back. But do you see a top 10 team having this many questions? In other words, they're ranked pretty much top 10 next year.
Yeah.
Does that make you a little nervous?
Well,
beyond the fact that whenever they've been ranked top 10 or had expectations, they fall flat in their face.
Well, that's one reason why. Because they're always paper champions, you know? And when they're what's the opposite of paper champions? Fire champions? I don't even know what would be the
gold standard champions.
Rock champions?
Real rock.
Scissor champions.
No, because paper beats rock.
Yeah, so scissor champions.
How can paper beat rock? What a stupid game. Anyway, go ahead.
Because it covers it, Ben.
No, it doesn't cover it.
Well, it does.
Yeah, but it's a rock.
There's a much better game I've learned how to play called Bear Hunter Ninja, where you're either you go back to back, right? And you're either the bear, okay, that's the bear.
Yeah.
The hunter, right, or the ninja, and the bear eats the ninja kills the hunter, and the hunter can shoot the bear. It's much more practical, really, because who's walking around with a piece of paper, a rock, and scissors?
No one.
Yeah, right. A geography teacher. Ha ha! Not bad. Anyway.
Please, please.
So what I'm trying to say here, Ben, is that the scissor champions for Wisconsin, they always come from 35th in the preseason poll, and then slowly, knock off the Indianas and the Minnesotas and the Michigan States, and then lose to the Ohio State.
Yeah.
But they still somehow get themselves to the Outback Bowl and pull out a sneaky win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the 35th ranked Badgers.
Yep.
2 years ago, we had the 10th ranked Badgers, or 5th ranked at one point.
5th ranked, Ben.
And they finished 50th at least, maybe 500th.
They're horrible.
They're terrible. And they got embarrassed in the bowl game. And now they know that. Coaching staff knows that.
Ugh.
You got to think that this will be the year where that's got to be on the forefront. And literally, I hope that they're throwing it in the players' faces. Why wouldn't you?
Right.
They say, well, now they think we're good, so what are you gonna do about it? Where you have to focus every day, and they're all saying the right things, and it doesn't feel like they're overconfident. So we'll see, right? I mean, we'll see, because this happens with the basketball team, it happens with the football team. Whenever there's high expectations,
the only team that ever delivers is hockey.
Right.
That damn hockey program's doing something no one else is. Right. I can't talk about the spring game.
No, why would we? I'm not trying.
I just feel like that's encouraging a bad media trend in this state.
The spring game is in the news, but we haven't talked about it that much. I said you can't glean anything from it.
No,
you can't.
Why
and
I don't know anything about this Wisconsin. I mean, we know who's coming back. You hope that that's good enough, and they find depth. I mean, they're a pretty deep team usually.
We know that John
next man in, 1-0 mentality. It's not the adversity you face; it's how you respond to it.
And that is, by the way, great advice in life. You see, I'm being condescending, but it is good advice.
I mean, sometimes the adversity.
Not what
let's
happens.
say you lose both arms in a farming accident. That's pretty big adversity. I mean, how are you going to respond?
Fortunately,
could be worse.
It's not usually that drastic. The point is, when you talk about looking forward to next year, that's the whole thing with the spring. It's not just the game; it's the practice. We know that John Budmeyer, who's this highly recruited quarterback and throws a great deep ball, was crappy in spring practice
Terrible.
for the most part. 3 picks in scrimmages, a couple picks in the last practice, 3 picks in the spring game.
Just a mess.
So he's a mess, and he's going to have to figure it out in fall camp because he's probably the number 2 guy.
Could be the J.P. Kavinsky of Wisconsin football.
You hope that J.P. Kavinsky never had high expectations. So you hope that he can figure something out because he's most likely the number 2, or you cross your fingers that Tolzien doesn't go down.
Which he won't. He's a tough kid.
Tough kid. And that's what you take from it. The whole practice, not just the game, and again the high expectations theme. I think that's a huge theme coming into the season.
Yes, I agree, Ben. And when they take a crap in week 4 against some team they should beat, we can say, here we go again with that damn Wisconsin football team.
No, but they could take a crap, but then they could win, go on a run, and go to the Capital One Bowl.
Sweet. We're not sick of that at Wisconsin.
Well, you should,
it's better than it was before Barry Alvarez came.
But at least I'm not going to go that way. I'm not going to go back to the Veer argument.
Why not?
Because you're right. It's a stupid argument. But what I am going to say is 10-2 is fine.
It's great. That's what you want. The 5th-ranked team to do.
But why are you dogging on it?
Can you get to a damn Rose Bowl?
I would love it if they would get to a damn Rose Bowl.
Could you get to one in a decade?
Again, I would love that. I agree.
Don't quote me how many wins you have.
I'm just
what teams got more players drafted. Get to a frickin' bowl game of consequence.
But it's so much better than 7-6, at least.
We'll see. I'm just saying, we'll see if this year's better than 7-6. At least
I was interested in the Champ Sports Bowl last year. I was. I want to see how they do against Miami.
They did
well.
great.
That's enough for me.
Bring on the Canes again.
That's enough for me. I'm not aiming for. I used to be the national championship. Why can't Wisconsin go to the next level? I'm not there anymore. They just can't. I accept it.
You've gotten complacent.
Not complacent.
That's not complacency. That is exactly what complacency is. You accept your fate.
Complacency is taking it for granted. I look for.
No, it's not. Complacency is not taking it for granted. What are you talking about? I'm complacent. I'm happy with the way things are. How are you doing, Ben? Complacently.
No, nobody says that.
You could.
For the free agents, Ben and Reed, SheSaidTalk.com. I'll look it up. Go to the website, check us out, SheSaidTalk.com.